Okay, guys, y'all wanted me to videotape for you, so I'm gonna do it. However that winds up, I don't even know. But here we go. So, before I got started, I went ahead and prepped everything that I'm gonna need for this recipe. Typically, I actually just chop everything on a chopping board and leave it all in its like respective corners. But since this time involved raw chicken, I just chopped all the veggies first and then threw the chicken right on top after that, and then chopped that, and then that way I didn't have to rewash my washing board, my cutting board, or anything like that. So here we go. Now Taylor says I'm going to somehow mount my camera on top of the hood with tape. So let's give that a try so that way y'all can watch what I'm doing. Now I'm gonna laugh if this falls off into that pot. And I'm also gonna laugh when all the steam blocks y'all's view. But what the hell, let's go. So I know it says 2 to 3 tablespoons of coconut oil. I don't ever measure that. I just eyeball it, just to be honest, guys. So that looks like about 2.5 or so. That's a big old spoon. I don't know. Go for it. But anywho, this is coconut oil. So after you got the coconut oil in there, add all the peppers. I know it doesn't say anything about, add all the onions. I know it doesn't say anything about peppers, but we like peppers and onions together in damn near everything. So just put in there what you want. Hold on, the husband is distracting me.
Shutting up.
Okay, so I know it says shredded carrots. I don't pre-buy those. I just had whole carrots, so I cut them into nice little thin slices. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's kind of thin. Anywho, because they're thicker, I figured they're probably going to have to cook about the same amount of time as the peppers and onions. So, what the hell? Give it a shot, throw it in there, and let's see how it does. And this is how I cook all the time, so don't be disillusioned or anything. Alright, I'm going to let that saute for a second. Okay, so it says that these are going to take about 5 minutes or so. That should be about right. Medium high heat is usually between 6 and 7 for me. Coat everything, make sure they're all good and coated in the oil. It doesn't say anything about salt and pepper in it yet, but I'll be honest with you, I like to salt and pepper at every stage when I'm cooking just to make sure that everything's good and seasoned. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Get some good old pepper going on in there. When it comes to cooking, I always do kosher salt, the big coarse grounds. I don't typically do table salt when I'm cooking. Right about now is usually when Ashley comes out of her room because she cannot resist the smell of sauteed peppers and onions. So I haven't seen her yet, so I'm not doing my job apparently. Just to give it time. Uh-oh, she has surfaced. So Ashley totally just rounded the corner. I kid you not. I'm not even to like minute 3 of sauteing these vegetables. It works every time. I kid you not. This child is awesome. Okay, so Ashley came out of the room, which means she's now the new cameraman. Yay! All right. So once the veggies have been sauteing for about 5 minutes, you're going to start seeing that the white is not so white. That's translucent. The bell peppers are cooking. The carrots are cooking. Now it says to add the chicken for 5 minutes. I'm going to be honest with you. I want the chicken to touch the pan, so I'm going to make like a hole. That way the chicken can all get on in there. So, make you a hole. Throw in your meat. And then start spreading it around so that way all of that chicken can try and touch as much of the surface as possible. Once that gets good and browned on that side, then I'll stir it in with the rest of the vegetables. And this all cooks for about 5 minutes until everything's done. Okay, so it's been cooking for about 2 to 3 minutes, so I can start to see on the underside it's getting done. Plus, again, like I said, I like to salt and pepper all the way throughout, so I've already done that. So now I'm going to go ahead and stir it. See how the bottom side is starting to turn white. So stir it all up and start to get more of that chicken exposed. Throw all the escapees back into the pot. No sense in letting them get away with trying to get out on it. Okay, so while this is cooking, a side note. I know a lot of you guys don't like dark meat and you would prefer to use a chicken breast. That's cool. Go ahead and do that, except The reason they say do thigh meat is because it stays juicier. It doesn't dry out as much. If you like white meat only, you can totally do breast. It's just your stuff's gonna be drier than most. So, okay, guys. So it's virtually cooked. There's a couple of pieces here and there, but don't worry, they're gonna cook anyway. So if you go ahead and start on the next step, that's totally fine. So we're gonna add garlic. Totally helps to have all of this chopped ahead of time, by the way. Garlic's super sticky when you chop it, so I definitely like to do that ahead of time. All right. From there it says 2 to 3 teaspoons of ground ginger. We love ginger in this house, so we're probably going to go on the shade of 3. It also says 2 of coriander. I have never used the spice a day in my life, so we're going to see how this goes. I'm sure it's tasty. I just not experienced. All right. Stir it up, and all of a sudden the aromas start happening. It's starting to smell good. I don't know if it's a shame y'all can't smell it, but I can, and damn. Okay, all right guys, next step is add coconut milk. This is my favorite and most exciting part because I love coconut. Not that I've ever made this before, but I can eat the mess out of some coconut curry, so we're gonna do this. And it also says 3 tablespoons of Thai curry paste. Now, Ashley so astutely pointed out, tablespoon does not fit in there. Great. Okay, fine. I'm gonna cheat. How about a half a tablespoon, and we'll just double it. So 3 tablespoons total, so I need 6 of these bad boys. 1, 2-ish. Eyeball it. I don't care. More seasonings, more flavor. You don't have to be exact. How many is that? 3? Okay, 3. And 4. 5-ish. I was heavy-handed on the other one, so we'll go light on this one. How about 6? All right, it says to stir it up. That's messy. So you'll start, obviously, the white milk plus the red curry powder is going to start to turn this into a beautiful color. Sorry, not powder, paste. God, I wish I could smell this. Like I said, I've never made this before, but here's what I like to do. I look at what I have in my freezer, pantry, and fridge, and then I start Googling recipes. If you've got chicken, carrots, and rice, Google chicken, carrot, rice recipes and see what pops up. And that's honestly how I find most of my stuff. So it says to stir, and then reduce heat, and do something, I don't know. Till it comes to a gentle boil for 5 minutes. All right. So we're going to reduce the heat because right now it's still on medium high. So let's go down to, it says reduce to medium. So let's go at a solid 5. Allow mixture to gently boil for 5 minutes. We're not covering it, by the way. And wait until the liquid is reduced and thickened. Okay, guys, so Alexis is now the cameraman because Ashley's reloading the dishwasher. So, can you see how gorgeous this looks? That's exactly the color you want because that's what I've always seen in restaurants, so we're going to roll with that. Now, the next step says to add spinach. Add however much spinach you want. I know this looks like a lot, but trust me, when this wilts down, it's going to look like you hardly put any in there at all. So, add the spinach. And it also says some lime juice. I think it said like a tablespoon or 2. I just went ahead, like I said, I don't usually measure things too precisely, but I got 2 whole limes that I'm going to go ahead and squeeze. You don't really run into the risk of too many seeds on limes, so you can squeeze to your heart's content. The case is not that way for lemons, obviously. I imagine we're having to do this just because of how sweet and rich the coconut milk is going to be. So this might help cutting it and liven it up a little bit. Let's go bubble up. Alright. It looks good. I don't know if that was the exact measurement, but it looks good to me. So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna roll with it. Okay, so stir it up until it all wilts down, which will not take take a long time for anybody who has dealt with fresh spinach before. That's the only kind of spinach I mess with. Canned spinach is disgusting. So, fresh spinach is definitely the way to go. I believe it also says salt and pepper here as well. Now remember, I've been salting and pepper every stage of the way. So I think I'm going to hold off on this one until I taste it to see if it